So here's my last short take. It's going to be a predictions one. I'm going to be giving my predictions on the rest of the playing games for tonight. So let's get into it. But first, I'm going to tell you guys hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the channel, show your support. So for the first game that's going to be available, I'm going to be talking about the Heat versus the Chicago Bulls. So I'm predicting that the Chicago Bulls are going to come out with this victory in a close one, 110 to 100. Okay. I feel like the last game was a big game for them. I do think that Miami, they're just a little bit old. Okay. I don't believe that they have it in them to be able to come out with this victory. Okay. I know that they have Jimmy Butler. Okay, but it's only so much that he could do. Okay. And to me, I never really did view him as a superstar player. Okay. Do I expect for him to turn it up in this moment? I don't see it happening. Okay. I think that he's going to have a cold night again. And there's been a lot of times when Jimmy Butler, he just doesn't get the same amount of criticism as somebody who is a superstar if they don't show up. Okay. But sometimes he does get viewed as one, even though that he shouldn't be. Okay. He's just a star player. And the thing is when it comes to the playoffs, it's been times where he'll just be absent for a couple of games. Like, where is he offensively and defensively? Okay. So this is what I'm seeing from Jimmy Butler. But when it comes to Kyle Lowry, on the other hand, he he's just an old player. Okay. I mean, every now and then he's gonna have a good game, like he did the last one. But how far can he keep this going? Okay. And when it comes to Bam Adebayo, I mean, he got outplayed by Clint Capella. What do I think that Vucevic is going to do to him? Even worse. So, and the Bulls defense, they have been pretty good this year, especially since the All-Star break. So, and and also Zach LaVine, he's also been balling as well. Okay. So he balled out last game. He did his thing and he actually carried the Bulls to the victory. I know it may have seemed like DeMar DeRozan did his thing, but really it was his daughter who did her thing. And in my opinion, when it comes to his daughter making these time screams that are, screeching and making it seem like a little girl needs help, it had cost the Toronto Raptors the last game. Okay. I think it's gonna cost the Heat this game? No. But I also think that she should not be in position to be doing that. Okay. Because this is an away game. I can understand if she's at a home game, but when she did that, it was at an away game. Okay. And all it just takes is for one crazy fan, and there's a lot of them. We saw it with Bradley Beal and the fan when he lost his bet. Okay. Betting has become a drug, especially since it's more accessible now more than ever on your phone. Okay. So, and then on top of that, you got people who are legit fanboys, like diehards of the team. Okay. So, in my opinion, I feel like DeMar DeRozan's daughter should have been in the skybox. Okay. Because you're trying to protect your family. Okay. And again, she is a little girl. And obviously, you would expect for people to hold her to that type of regard as a little girl, her being less than 7 years old, and they should just respect the fact that she's there and just leave her alone. But you're in a crowd full of people who may have bet on the game, okay, who may be rabid fans of the team. I just don't think it's smart for her to be in that position to potentially have something either be said to her that she may not like or DeMar DeRozan may not like, and the next thing you know, that fan is kicked out for the rest of their lives. Okay. Or somebody may go so crazy because of how things are mentally nowadays, they may turn around and hit her. Now, that is extreme, but you can't put anything past people who are fans of a team. Okay? Like, we've seen it in football stadiums, people getting over fights. Okay? Now the Toronto Raptors, they did miss 50% of their free throws in that game. Okay? When she was doing that. Okay? They went 9 for 18. All right. Now, obviously, you know, it was not only because of her, but a fan, somebody who is not really thinking, they may think that it's solely because of her that they lost. Okay. So, in my opinion, I think that his responsibility should be to keep her safe. And in that responsibility, despite there being security around, just so that nothing is said to her inappropriately or done to her inappropriately, I believe that she should be in the skybox, especially in away games. I understand that she's there to support her father. I understand how cute she is. But at the same time, we're protecting family here. Okay? And if she's doing that stuff in a game, I just don't believe that this is smart for DeMar DeRozan to have his daughter in enemy territory. It's fine if you're home, but enemy territory, that's too much. Okay? So that's my little perspective on that. But as far as the game, I think that Alex Caruso is going to show up defensively. I think that Zach LaVine is going to show up offensively and contribute defensively. I think that Vucevic is going to be a problem. Okay, and I think there's just more shot makers on this team. Okay, so I'm calling it 110 Bulls to 100. Okay, and do I believe that the Bulls have a chance of not getting swept by the Milwaukee Bucks? No, I do not. Okay. But if anything, I can see one player going off for a game, and that's definitely going to be Zach LaVine. Okay. So that's my perspective on the Bulls. Now I'm going to move on to the Timberwolves versus the OKC Thunder. So the Timberwolves, in my opinion, they had the second dumbest player in the NBA. Okay. I mean, at this point, he's a veteran. I mean, he's been in the league for 8 years. He should have some playoff wins under his belt. Okay. Some playoff series under his belt. Okay. And that's Karl-Anthony Towns. Okay. He just makes dumb mistake after dumb mistake. And at this point, he's afraid of Anthony Edwards taking over as the alpha. Now, Anthony Edwards, he doesn't have much to talk about because he played terrible last game. Okay. Karl-Anthony Towns did not help last game either. Okay. So can they get it together? I think not. Okay. I think that Anthony Edwards is going to have another bad shooting night. Okay. With Lou Dort handling him defensively. He's going to be physical. He's going to be in his face. And I do feel like he's going to be a problem. I do think that Mike Conley, I do believe that he's going to have a good game. But I don't believe that it's going to be good enough for them to get this victory. Okay? I feel like Kyle Anderson, he's definitely going to have to step up offensively, as well as Rudy Gobert defensively. I mean, he has to be very good defensively as well. Okay. And it's going to take more than just one person to be able to get this victory. Okay. Because the OKC Thunder, they're coming. Okay. They are a very good team. And to me, if they get in the playoffs, I could see them getting a game against the Nuggets. I could see that happening. Whereas if the Timberwolves were going up against the Nuggets, they're getting swept badly. Okay. So I think that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to have a good game. Or I think that he's going to have 30 plus points and about 8 assists. Okay. I think that Isaiah Joe, he's definitely going to show up. Josh Giddey, who showed up last game, huge. Okay. I think that he's going to play even better. Okay. I think that he's going to have a near triple double again. Okay. So they got a nice squad, and they're not to be messed with. So I can see this team winning this game, the OKC Thunder, 120 to 115. Now, if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't get any foul trouble, they could get the victory. And if Anthony Edwards shows up even for a second, it's possible they could get this victory. But in my opinion, Mike Conley, he cannot make up for the amount of dumbness that's about to happen tonight. Okay? On Karl Anthony Towns' part, and also for when it comes to the shot selection of Anthony Edwards. But as for the OKC Thunder, man, they're on the rise. For real. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he is a problem. Okay? Next year, there's nothing that you can say about him. You're definitely going to have to make him a top 10 player in the NBA. All right? To me, this year, he's either first or second team All-NBA. Okay? He's been that good this year. I mean, he's been averaging 30 plus points. Okay? And with the way that Josh Giddey plays, with his consistency and just his basketball IQ being extremely high, I can't see them not getting this victory. And that's my prediction on the rest of this play-in tournament. And that's it on my short takes. And remember, let's not be inches, feet, meters, nor yards. Let's be miles ahead. Have a good one.